we're so thankful that you've stayed with us for 8 sessions, and we hope that you stay with us for the next few that are coming up. We have a few more sessions before the end of the year. I just want to thank Dr. Mina, our wonderful course facilitator, for taking us through all of the learning so far, and to Camelia, who's been behind the scenes working very hard on the technology and on many other elements, and Henok as well from UNESCO ICPA. And I want to say thank you to our partners as well. We have a partnership here by UNESCO ICPA, the GPE, the Global Partnership for Education's KICS, that's Knowledge Innovation Exchange, Africa 19 Hub for 19 countries in Africa. We also have funding from the Shanghai Funds and Trust, and the Africa Federation of Teaching Regulatory Authorities is also part of this project, and the African Union, and as well as the European Union. So we have quite a few partners who are involved, and we're thankful to all of them. Mina, are we asking the teacher now, or should I pass it back over to you? That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marianne. And we are going to proceed now to our sessions. As we gave you some work, you have been reflecting on the AU leadership standards, and you are able to engage with your peers. Thank you very much for all those who have been able to post in the Google Classroom. And there's been a lot of key takeaways which you'll do about from this session, as well as to capture an action. And then today, we also have an AU award teacher from Kenya who will be talking to us. Before, we also have a speaker who will be talking about digital tools which you can use for peer mentorship. And then we are going to have our own discussions on how we can use these tools in mentoring new teachers in our context. And then we shall have a segment whereby we'll be in groups according to our assignments. And this is where you ask any questions regarding your assignment to get clarifications for those who are doing the final assignment. So it's an exciting session, and I welcome everybody. And this is a space for us to co-create, to collaborate, to communicate. But let's be respectful in the communications, keep it brief as you engage, stay connected, be there, be available, and let's learn from each other as we engage. Thank you very much for doing the task on checking understanding. There was a lot of participation, and you can see the completion. Thank you for that. And we want to start with our activity. So I want you to go to a Google Classroom, go to your Google Classroom page, and I want you to read what you responded. Read what you responded, and think about what you have given since the time you posted up to now. Will you be able to revise anything? So just take some few minutes, go back to the Google Classroom, which we've been working on, and look at it and check on what you posted last time. And based on what you posted, reflect on it. Has anything changed in terms of your thought process? Do you see anything which you can revise, review, based on what you had posted before? So I want to give you some few minutes for us to do that. You go to your Google Classroom, look at what you posted, and I want you to add your own comment in what you posted. Based on what you have posted, read through, think through. Is there anything to change? Have you reflected over time and you think you need to do something different? Just add a comment so that we see your comment there for those who have posted. You can see the screen I'm sharing. There's the Reggie Taye, Derek Dennis. So just read what you have posted. Shile Dlamini, Rosta Mabibi, yes. I want to see you reacting to your own posts of what we did last time. And if there's nothing to change, just click on that and say, add a comment there and say nothing to change so that we have some reactions on what has been posted. There is Jane Semboguyo. There's a lot of posts. Kafayat Olwano, Dutot Karang. Just go to your posts and just scan through what you posted and then add a comment. Is there anything you like to redo, rethink, change, or it should remain the same? We have 3 more minutes for that. Go to Google Classroom, go to your posts on what you posted. The idea of posting in a copy in the stream was for us to get feedback from our peers, and we are very, very grateful for all those who reacted and gave peer feedback. That is very critical to help our colleagues in finalizing their task. So I'd like to appreciate anybody who gave feed forward to their peers. But I'm now still waiting to see self-comment about your work. Is there anything you want to change or it's going to remain the same? I'm going through, I haven't seen any feedback. Go read your own work, think about it and see, is there anything I need to change? We have 3 more minutes remaining. I'm just scanning through to see if there is any comments, and you can also do the same because you are there. Just scroll down to your own posts and tell us at this moment, would you like to review? Would you like to add anything? Have you reflected over time and you want to change anything? We have 2 minutes. We have a minute to go. Having another scan to see in 1 minute if there's anybody who has added a comment in their own work. Going down. Okay, thank you very much for that. So what I'm going to do next now, if you have not added any comment, it's okay. This seems like you're not going to revise. But what I want you to do now, I want you to read somebody else's work. So let's take this moment to read through other people. Just choose any and read what they have posted. We only have 5 minutes for that. And then you can affirm what they have said. You can offer a suggestion. You can ask a question, or you can also connect it to experience. And I've given an example of what you can do. So let's take 5 minutes. Now we are doing, you're not reacting on your own, but you are reacting on a colleague's post in the stream. So let's go through and comment on what our colleagues have posted. Choose anybody in the room who have posted any posts and add your comments after a read through. Great. Thank you very much, Deraj. I think you reacted to your own, so you can read somebody else posting. Thank you for that. Choose any other and add your comments on that. Just comment on a colleague's work, on what they have done. Give a peer feedback. I'm just checking through. Thank you very much, Oyoga. I can see you have commented too. That's excellent. Just read through and comment. We have only 3 minutes left. And many thanks to those who have shared a copy in the stream, because it will allow people to learn from each other. At the same time, it will allow you to get feedback from your colleagues. Wanu Macau, yeah, you can still do that. Even if you're using your phone, there are tabs. Sorry about that, but you can use it. You can go and also use it. We have 2 minutes. Please read your colleagues' work. As you read, I'm sure you are learning something. It might not be a similar type of assignment as yours, but it's also an opportunity for you to learn from what they are sharing. We have 1 minute remaining. Just scrolling through to see those who have responded. Just read your colleagues' work and respond. Oh, thank you very much, Jane. I can see you have added feedback to your colleague. And who else? Thank you very much, Jane, for that. I'm just checking somebody else. We have a minute. We have a minute. Thank you very much for that contribution of what you have done. So I'd like you to raise your hand so that I call you out, you unmute, and just tell us something which you have picked from how you interacted with your own work and how you interacted with your colleagues' work. Just raise up your hand, then I'll select you, and you unmute and just speak. It's our time now to share what we saw and how we felt about it, either for your own or for your colleagues. Can you have some volunteers? We are 30 in the room, such a good number. A third of those who started, which is great. Derek Dennis, please unmute and speak.
All right, thank you, Prof. Specifically, I read Lydia's work. She made mention of the National Institute for Educational Development launch of the NNTRP, that is the novice teacher induction program. And I think it's a good idea because I think in my assignment, I wrote something like that there's a need for our colleges to establish a mentorship department so that mentorship is given special attention. It shouldn't be seen as something optional. It should form part of our work that when we are recruiting our teachers, all right, there should be a kind of a framework that as part of their portfolio, their mentorship journey is also recorded. So when I read about what Lydia wrote, I said it's a good thing because from what she said, it is a national policy, by the NIED to be implemented across. So I think it is something that I can also propose to the Ministry of Education here in Liberia, that I can go across our various TTRs, the teacher training institutes.
Thank you very much, Derek Dennis, for your input. Can we have somebody else putting their hands up? Who will be the next speaker? We want to hear from you after engaging with your colleagues' work. Yes, Oyugoga, please unmute and speak.
Okay, good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
Actually, I was so happy that a colleague of mine, Kafiat, in Nigeria, demonstrated leadership as regards empowering new inductee teachers with competencies for ingraining into the school activity. Being the school leader and building capacity of these new inductees, I think is a good modeling, rather than just shift the assignments to another staff. When the new teacher sees this, I think it gives that motivation to really feel among in the school system. And I think that also, that she was dealing with the aspect of leading professional competencies for new trainees. But in my own aspect, I think I considered the school innovation framework. That is innovation for new teachers to really be creative, that their voice also matters as regards maybe their training in their previous schools. Because most times they'll be as if they have nothing to contribute. But when we give them space through this innovative framework in the school, they will now be able to see where the gaps are between what they learned in school and what they are seeing in the field. And I think both the school system and the trainee will be able to collaborate and really drive change, innovative change in the school system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. And please, the rest, can you also type in, as the last person is speaking, type in your reflections. So can we have Niguse Wilderman? Please unmute and share.
Hello, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I read Deraje's post, who used to be my earlier professor. He wrote about leadership for new teachers in Ethiopia, which actually has reflected in a very concrete and practical aspect of it. He explained that the problem with regard to teacher-centered teaching and learning approaches or methodology is very cyclic, that students in their early days are modeled by their teachers, and then when they just came to the in-service and in their pre-service trainings, they got modeled by their teachers who used teacher-centered approach. So he tried to reflect the teacher-centered approach in Ethiopia is very cyclic, and it needs to be somehow there should be some sort of policy change to reverse okay, this teacher-centered approach into some sort of, active and student-centered modalities through a continuous training continuous training for school principals and school leaders, focusing on how they could improve instructional, how they could manage and implement instructional leadership in their schools. And besides to that, he has also recommended, a cultural integration of technology into that aspect is very important. And my recommendation actually for this is also the introduction of culturally responsive pedagogy is also important, because, okay, if we need to make the teaching learning process student-centered and active, we need to begin from the culture. We need to begin from the way people are nurtured, so that it should be decolonialized in some aspect, and it should match to the way people really grew up from their early childhood periods, all towards their higher learning stages in the life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Neguse, for that. Thank you very much. So now, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on, thank you very much for that key contribution. I want you to use that code on your screen and write one leadership action you will take to support new teachers. Share with us one leadership action you will take to support new teachers. If you go to slido.com, you'll enter that link, and then you can just tell us one leadership action that you will take to support new teachers. Let's hear from you. Share with us. One leadership action you'll take. Just go to slido.com, enter that number. If you're not able, just put it in chat, no problem. But we want to hear from you, from this small discussion we have had in the last half hour. What is one leadership action you'll take to support new teachers? You can either do it in chat, if you are able, or you can do in Slido. Thank you very much. I have one, thank you. And one more is typing. I would love to have 30 of you responding to that. And I have one more. If you're unable to use that, you can just type in chat. Thank you very much, Luwilo Sanga. I can see you've typed in chat. That's okay. One, thank you very much. There is a sign. You can also read in chat. We have 2 in chat. So I can say we have 3 contributions so far. And I can see there are 2 more typing. So we'll have 5 eventually. I would have loved to have 30 of you responding to this. So I'm giving you another minute and a half, in which I will welcome an award winner from AU to share with us her insights shortly after concluding this activity. Thank you very much. We have another one. Thank you very much. So we have 3 plus 2, that's 5. Actually, 3 plus 3, that's 6, 7. Can we have more? We are 31 here. So 7 is not enough. You can see one person is typing, that will make it 8. Thank you very much. Another person is still typing, that will make it 9. Actually, 2 people, that will have 10. So we'll have a third responding, which is great. But I would have loved to have more, up to 50 plus 1%. Thank you, Jen, for sharing yours in chat. Thank you, Almaut. That's okay. Great. We have 2 more. So that's 11. Can we have more? 1 more? 2 people are still typing. I'll wait for them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can see their responses there. We have a minute. Thank you very much. That's great. 2 more people. And you can read what they are writing as things that they have taken from this short discussion in half an hour and what they have been doing in their assignments. That is great. Thank you very much. 4 people are typing. You're having more. Great. We're going to reach the 50+1 very soon because we are 31. When you reach 16, 17, 18, great. Then things will be repeating themselves. I'm waiting for 1 person who's typing. So we have 8 + 4, that will be 12. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 + 8, that's 16. +9, that's 17. Great. Now we have hit the 50+1, and this 1 person who have just added, Olivia Franco Michael, have said leading by example. Thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your reflection. It is very clear that from your reflections that the AU standards, which we did last time, can be lived out in diverse contexts. So let's keep this momentum going. Mentorship is not a one-time event, but a culture we build together. Your reflections show how AU leadership standards can be lived out in diverse contexts. So let's keep this momentum going because that is where we want. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome and give her a round of applause, a teacher all the way from an East African country, that's Kenya, who was an award winner, and she's going to give us words of wisdom. Welcome, Chepkosgei, all the way from Kenya. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Maina. Thank you so much, members who are present. Let me say I appreciate all of you, and I also appreciate all the insights that I've been able to listen to. This is just a teacher, a classroom teacher of physics and mathematics, and I'm glad to have listened to all of you today. Allow me to just major on what I've been hearing. You've been talking about being a new teacher, and I think I can be able to just speak out on a few things that I experienced when I came in to teaching. And I think we will have now started answering onto those particular situations. Being green, just out of college, I think everybody knows, or I want to believe it is not only in my country, Kenya, where when we go to the college, we go through education, we get our degree, and then when we go to class, we realize there's no much relation from what we actually learn in class and what we are going to teach in our classrooms. So one of the major things that I think we can be able to look at is the stresses that we go through as new teachers in class. One major one is the context of what we learn in college is not actually what we're going to give to our learners in classes. And I think that is one of the major things that I went through as a new teacher. And I'm glad that some of the things that are coming up now is how can we be able to help them? I went into a school where there was no other teacher who's teaching physics. Assessment was starting, and I could not be able even to come up with the assessment because the assessment had slightly changed from what I went through in my high school. Therefore, lack of mentorship actually made me gamble up and down, wondering how I can be able to catch up with the learners, catch up with how I'm supposed to train. So I think whatever I've been listening from, that is a mentorship, is actually something that should actually be coming up. Though I have seen in recent past that our country has come up with what we call TMEC, mentorship and coaching, but now as it's not that activity is not continuous, It's a one-time thing that you're just given you're coached and you're mentored for one day, welcomed and told this is high school, now this is why we expect you to do this, and no mentorship. So I want to believe if we are attached to a mentor, we can be able to have our new teachers doing better. Though I was able to take these challenges and actually build up, and that is what drove me to this far, to be able to be creative, wading through the waters, wondering how to be able to do this. But I think we shouldn't leave it to chances that all of us just wade through. We need to be able to hold our teachers' hands, our new teachers, and be able to mentor them. Resources also. I don't know how we can be able to come in. I think we are majorly into teacher profession, but now the resources that are available also is one of the things that actually brought me some problems. And I think having to be taught to be at least inventive, to be creative. I think we can be able to guide our teachers to be able to use whatever resources that are around us, so that we can be able to counter the problems or the hindrances or the challenges that we face as we start off our teaching career. That would ensure that we build our teachers, we can be able to build capacity, we build them to be able to be better, and they don't get desperate or they do not despair at early stage in their teaching. Sometimes we just get teachers, I don't know if it happens elsewhere. Sometimes you find that we need to be able to also, apart from mentoring them, how can we be able to help the management to ensure that the people who are coming in are brought in sequentially and not lumped with so much? I don't know if everybody, I don't know if most people experience this, but once we get into a school, sometimes people find that now there is a reprieve because there's somebody who is coming in. So we get into a situation whereby we have large classes, we have too much workload that is coming into the new teacher's way because they cannot be able to do, they cannot talk out for themselves. I think we need to be able to have a guideline or some guidance and mentorship for those who are in leadership so that they can be able to assist and bring them slowly as they build up on their capacity, and also the workload now they can be able to carry it out. I just wanted to speak on those three issues that I think I saw as a challenge as I was coming into this. But I want to take it as a positive task. Had I not gone through those challenges, I think I wouldn't be where I am today, because I wouldn't have tried to wade through. I wouldn't have tried to be a little bit better. I wouldn't have tried to make do with the resources that I had. But we cannot leave it chance that all of the teachers that are coming in can be able to do that. Let us ensure, I wish I could have a community where people could be able to just ensure that they hold somebody's hand and they can be able to bring them up, they can be able to mentor them, they can be able to coach. I wish we could be able to ensure that there is always continuous coaching in our schools. At least somebody is attached to a coach, whether a mentor is mentoring more or one or more, but at least there is a mentor for each new teacher that is coming in. Allow me to end that particular point by just saying, when we support a new teacher, or a new teacher well supported, is a future that transformed, because I believe the new ones who are coming in are the ones who are going to take over from those of us who've stayed long. I think when I say stayed long, I've just stayed for 15 years. I still have more to be able to coach the others. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, of course, Gay, for giving us your journey and the very, very candid, open experiences which you have gone through. Thank you for being resilient and wading through and being creative and overcoming those challenges, and also sharing with us the reality on the ground, what was in college and what was in the school, the context and the kind of the support. We appreciate your time and your contribution, and we are very grateful for your contribution. In Kenya, we say asante sana. Thank you very
Very good.
much.
Thank you, Asante.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to listen to Dr. Temcheng Ekda. He's a program officer of ICT and STEM education, UNESCO ICBA. And here is where we want to leverage, as what Chef Kosgei has told us, the issue of technology. How do we leverage technology in terms of facilitating mentorship? And more so, we are not just looking at technology as a device or a tool, but a skill, the digital literacy competencies on how well we can utilize this technology. So Dr. Tim Cheng is going to give us insights of what is available, what is required as a skill set, and then we are going to have a time to unpack his presentation as we soldier on. Welcome, Dr. Temicheng.
Thank you, Prof. Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Can I share?
Yeah, I can move as you speak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. My name is Tamechi Nyingda, as Prof already said. I am at ICPA, UNESCO ICPA, the International Institute for Capacity Building in Africa, based here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So we cover the entire continent, and the GPE project is one of our work. Today's presentation from my side, actually I was informed yesterday or the day before. It's about UNESCO ICPA's courses on digital competence. Next slide. So for us in ICPA, the digital competence courses are essential step in developing the African education workforce. Ultimately, we should enhance learning outcomes, if possible, for everyone. And it's not about granting technology, but concentrating on developing people's ability to use the technology critically, creatively, and successfully. So the courses that we develop, most of the digital competence courses, almost the digital competence course series are developed by me. And these courses are an important, reliable resource for African educators. Next slide. So we have our courses, digital competence courses, to be accessible, applicable, and useful. In fact, even in the previous presentation or interaction, many people have been indicating on the chat that they are struggling with the content, with the connectivity, etc., etc. So it's not only connectivity, but there are many challenges. So for that to be improved, UNESCO ICPA develops contextually relevant digital competence courses. So what do we mean by that? If you develop a course with very high technology, current state of technology, and yet the African educators and the students don't have the access, or they are not affordable to them, then they are not contextually relevant. They are just there. The courses are designed with the African context in mind, in terms of connectivity, quality, content, etc., etc., taking into account obstacles such as poor infrastructure, poor connectivity, and the range of learner needs. Secondly, it's practitioner focused. You can find with the same title courses that are highly theoretical. They give you the theories, the learning theories and the philosophies behind those topics. But in our case, we make it practitioner focused, not theoretical. Meaning, we can, for instance, after demonstrating or after presenting a certain content, we show how the teacher can develop a lesson plan, how the teacher can monitor the progress of the learner using those kinds of skills. So it's practitioner focused. Immediately after completing the courses, we believe that teachers and educators can immediately apply those tactics and techniques. And it's flexible and interactive. in the name of online learning, there are many sites and there are many platforms that dump just the PDF of a course or a PDF of teaching material. No, that's not in our case. In our case, we develop courses, and by chunking the content and others, we bring it into a PowerPoint format. And then we use a software, an authoring tool called iSpring Suite Max, which I have it on my laptop, and we optimize it. Optimizing means we convert the courses into an interactive multimedia lessons. So they are interactive and mainly available for free as self-paced learning. Yeah, UNESCO does not charge any cost. And contextually, in Africa, financial struggle is also there. So we make it free available, and it's a self-paced in most cases, meaning you register and you take it as per your pace, learning pace, and you get a certificate at the end. But if member states demand that there should be a face-to-face kind of interactive blended format, then we do that as well. So it's uploaded in ICPA's virtual campus. We have a Moodle-based virtual campus. The one you see on the right, to me is on the right, is the home page of the ICPA virtual campus. Next slide, please. So who are those courses for? We developed our courses primarily for teacher educators and TVET instructors who are training their respective teachers. And practicing teachers, it could be primary or secondary, but they are actually the in-service teachers. And third, education policymakers and planners. Nowadays, in the 21st century, we argue that schools have to be digitally transformed. If schools are to be digitally transformed, there must be a digitally competent leader and policymaker. Otherwise, they will be, I don't know, I'm sorry so to say, obstacles to, even if the teachers have the digital competence and the interest to integrate technology. And school leaders and principals, the same. So upon successful completion, at the end of the courses, in most cases, in almost all cases, in the case of the digital competence, there are 20 questions, final exam, and one has to score 80%, meaning 60 out of 20. If someone scores that level, then the system will automatically give the certificate. So you can print it, you can save it on your device, you do whatever you want. And in some countries, they recognize the certificate as a career development contribution, so you can use it. And next slide. So let's go into the specifics of the courses. As I said, it's a digital competence series. At the moment, we have 6 courses, and the first one we call it Basic Digital Skills for Teachers. And as you know, my generation and even a bit younger are not digital native, but our children, even 8 years, 17 years, 5 years, 3 years, children are very digital native, and we are digitally immigrant, and we need to give the basic digital skills for the teachers, particularly in rural areas. This course covers the fundamentals of digital skills, and teachers build their knowledge of digital skills and the confidence also in using the technology. Unless you have the basic skills, if you go into the chat GPT or Copilot or whatever you name them, the AI, generative AI, it will be frustrating. So the fundamental skills are important. So this course, the what and why of digital skills, the basic productivity tools, like in the Microsoft or on the Windows operating system, you can have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And the second chapter or unit focuses on PowerPoint because it can create an interactive multimedia lesson without using any other software. And third, search in the web in an efficient and effective manner. Well, everybody knows how to insert a search term on Google and get thousands of outputs, but it's time consuming. Which one to select? So the third unit tells or uh, describes to the teachers and the students how effectively and efficiently we utilize the search engines. The fourth one is using open educational resources for teaching and learning. As you know, the financial constraint is a lot in Africa, and some of the peer-reviewed and quality materials, the moment you ask for the PDF, for instance, they ask you to pay, and we Africans cannot afford. But there are alternative ways of open educational resources. Open educational resources, highly evaluated, highly reviewed, but made available at no cost, with zero copyright. So how do teachers use those kinds of things, and how do they research? How do they search? And how do they also evaluate? That chapter, that unit, teaches that one. And the fifth one, we have social media for teaching and learning. Social media have been used, unfortunately, for mostly for unnecessary things, not for educational purposes. But teachers can convert those tools into both a very good teaching learning process. And the last in this series is cybersecurity. Well, now the cybersecurity, this is malware and others are increasingly becoming. For instance, yesterday we heard that about 1,500 malwares were targeted to the UNESCO email holders, UNESCO.org email holders. So we have to be careful every day. Even sometimes when we use our mobile phone with little cybersecurity, our financial systems could also be attacked. So teachers need to know cybersecurity in teaching and learning. Next slide. And this one is a contextually relevant one. As I said, the proprietary software are very expensive, particularly for schools and teachers. So what we do in the second course is using free software for interactive teaching. What to do? For instance, we want to create, if you want to create digital audio content, there is an excellent pedagogically very good software that can create audio for your lessons and use it in any platform or at least in a PC and the screen. The second one is how can we create and edit digital video content? We can do it even nowadays using even a PowerPoint. If you have Windows, Microsoft Office, then what's called PowerPoint by itself does a lot of miracle. And the third one, creating and editing engaging visuals. We usually draw on the chalkboard the human body, for instance, the water cycle, you name them. But now, with the free software that can do these kinds of things, teachers can easily create engaging lesson plans, engaging infographics, engaging teaching aids. And finally, embrace game-based learning. Game-based learning is one of the most student-centered approach. So what kind of software do you use? Free software do you use to create or to embed games into your teaching learning? Next slide, please. A third one, effective teaching through TV and radio. Well, TV and radio are available everywhere, I would say, particularly in Africa. They are there even in rural areas. So why do we not use this widely available technology, relevant technology, contextually relevant technology into teaching and learning systems approach? And what kind of things teachers should take into account if they want to use these technologies, all the technologies, in fact, but enhanced with modern technologies as well. So we have 5 modules, and each module has 2 components. Module 1 is understanding TV and radio-based distance learning. What's it all about? And the second one is designing and facilitating TV and radio-based distance learning. You know, it's not like the internet, the radio and the TV. Those watching and listening to the radio and the TV have to sit there, but directly through the radio and the TV, communication could not be possible. But rather, there are many techniques of converting the broadcast-oriented radio and broadcast-oriented television into an interactive radio and TV program. So how do you design? And organizing and monitoring TV and radio-based learning. They are away from you. Well, this is, of course, true for online learning as well. But how do you monitor that learning or education program? And module 4, assessment for TV and radio learning. Assessment 4 is formative feedback. And how do you get the formative feedback? Mostly the mobile phones, the social media like Telegram, WhatsApp, and what's called Facebook can be used to complement the interactivity of the radio and the TV. And finally, collaborative approach and planning. We cannot convert the teachers into radio and TV technicians. So there must be a collaboration between the ministry, the school, and the broadcast services providers. So what kind of collaboration can you think of? The last chapter, the last unit or the last module deals with those kinds of things. Next. Then, now they are becoming more and more technologically oriented. So instructional design, whether you use game-based or you use radio or you use audio or visual things, ultimately you have to design your lesson. It's not about curriculum design and development. It's at school level, at teacher level, what we can do as an instructional designer. So the intention of this course is to make the teachers not only subject matter experts, but also instructional designers. And this course empowers teachers to systematically analyze, develop, implement, and evaluate effective learning experiences. This is called what we call the ADE model: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Analysis of the learner, analysis of the context, analysis of the tasks that we are selecting for our lessons, for our courses, etc. And participants will learn to align objectives, assessments, and activities while leveraging technology and learner-centered strategies. So after introduction, the ADE model is introduced, and each of the model's components, analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation, are explored in this activity. So at the design level, for instance, you do analyze or you do design the tasks in a very meaningful way. It could be the arrangement could be from simple to complex or the other way around. And there are many instructional analysis, task analysis approaches. It's up to the teacher. We offer in the course the various strategies, but it's up to the teacher and up to the subject matter, the type of the subject matter, which instructional strategy would be the most appropriate. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now teacher, after taking the fourth course, is capable of developing content. So e-learning content development. The e-learning content development is, as I said, it's not about having a PDF in a platform, a learning management system, or having something, a video just to watch YouTube, but it is rather based on learning theories and appropriate technologies in the 21st century. The various learning theories, like for instance, behaviorists, cognitivists, constructivists, and you name them. They have their own contributions to how the learning content have to be developed. Some would like to make it in a programmed manner, sequentially going. Others can branch it out. So the theoretical understanding from the instructional design would also be very important for understanding this particular course. And so participants will learn to develop interactive, engaging, and pedagogically sound e-learning content using modern tools. So this course consists of the what and why of e-learning, and how do you motivate and engage learners in an e-learning content, using e-learning content. What are the principles of multimedia learning? So the e-learning, the content there should be multimedia. So what are the principles? Integrating instructional content and games. The one we said game-based, but how do you bring the games into the instructional content? Would it be a mere game or a learning game? That would be very taken into account. And 5, simulations as teaching learning strategies, particularly in the natural science areas like PhET for physics, chemistry, maths, biology, and environmental science. Very, very well developed, well optimized, and freely available from Colorado State University. So simulations as teaching learning strategies, and storytelling and case-based scenarios, case-based scenarios in e-learning courses. So we explore different strategies in developing e-learning content. Next, the last course. Yeah, you learned about instructional design, and you developed the content. But how do you assess e-assessment? Is it merely sending a test through internet, or what principles will you take into account in designing learning? In the digital learning era, traditional testing methods are no longer enough. So the course equips educators with strategic tools, best practices to design, implement, and analyze effective e-assessment for both formative and summative evaluation. It's not like an end of grade 12 or school year examination. No, that can be part, but it is the day-to-day assessment. So we explore the what and why of the assessment, and we look at the history of technology-enhanced assessment from maybe 1940s, 1950s up to present. And the course also explores tools for e-assessment. What kind of tools are there? Mostly the open source one. And for the assessing using e-portfolios are becoming very, very popular. And how do we use assessment using e-portfolios? Scenario-based assessment. You give a scenario, and instead of just asking a question, and based on the scenarios, you extract or you develop assessment questions. And so it will be contextually embedded assessment, not just in the cloud. Using e-rubrics in assessment, rubrics in general, and e-rubrics are important because they define what's expected of the learner. Next. Maybe the conclusion, yeah. As a summary, creating successful e-learning and e-assessment involves more than simply putting content online. It's a strategic process that calls for thoughtful design, learner-centeredness, and thorough assessment. And by developing these abilities or skills, we become architects of life, changing educational experiences rather than merely content producers. And digital education is a way of the future. Let's design to be equitable, efficient, and interesting for all students. So the next generation of courses within the ICPA series will be AI competence for teachers. For hopefully at some point, maybe next year or so, we will explore the AI competence for teachers courses. So our motto within ICPA in the digital competence subdomain is designing learning that transforms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Temcheng, for that very insightful presentation of the skill set that are required and what is on offer. I think this is a very good opportunity. Actually, personally, I'll also connect and do that course so that I see how it can enrich me in terms of the skill set. So ladies and gentlemen, now I welcome questions, comments, and concerns. You can raise up your hand or you can type them in the chat so that we can have some few questions answered, and then we proceed with our activity. I'm looking for hands. I'm looking at the chat for any questions that we have. Okay, there is a question. One question is from Niguse Welderman in the chat, Dr. Temcheng. It's saying, these modules are freely available. What are the requirements to take the module? Maybe Doc, you can respond to that question. There's also
Yes.
another question. There's another question from Helene Shifoka. If you can share the link to the courses. So there are two questions for you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Nukusi, as I said, they are freely available. I don't know, Prof, the first slide shows the link. I don't know. Yeah. https cvi.icva.unesco.org. So that is the link, and fully freely available. At this point, we have not yet offered the certificate. We have not yet attached the certificate because we wanted to officially launch them first. But for taking the courses and for learning purposes, they are free and available there.
Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else with a question? Okay, anybody else? Can these modules be accessed offline? We have Derek Dennis, just like the challenge doc you have shared about our context. Somebody is asking, can you access them offline?
You can and you cannot. You can, because if you have internet access, you download the course and then they are available.
Okay.
But at
just
least
like
you...
Okay, I get you. Just like the FET Lab, you can also download and use it offline. So you can, according to Dr. Temicheng, you can download and then take the course. That is very, very good because it is contextual. And the way you have given the second component about flexibility, then you can be able to use it. Thank you very much, Doc.
And in fact, Prof, we have two projects currently with the Japan government. One is for Ethiopia, another for 5 other countries. We are negotiating with the Japanese company that can provide an LMS which can help access the courses offline without even downloading. So if that project materializes, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, South Sudan, Cameroon, and Algeria will be part of the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. We are very, very excited about that. There's one more question before you leave. How can teachers handle the challenge of lack of natural creativity brought by the AI, where AI has taken up the active role of learning among the learners? Maybe what's your perspective on that?
Yeah. Actually, this is not about AI. The next phase or the next series will be on AI. But my perspective is, let's leave the routine things to the AI and focus on the human-centered creativity, and instead of developing multiple choice questions, spending our time on those one and correcting in this and that, give this to the AI and focus on cultivating the learner's minds critically, creatively, and thoughtfully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. There's one question from Uganda, a very burning question. How can digital learning shift teacher development from compliance to intrinsic motivation and continuous learning?
Is it on the...
It's on the chat, yeah.
What strategic steps can you recommend so that school systems ensure inclusivity, cultural preservation, and socio-emotional well-being as a result of digital revolution? Yeah, the kind of things that I said, culturally relevant, is referring to these kinds of things. And unfortunately, it's not in the digital competence series of courses, but ICBA has on the same platform a course on mental health and psychosocial support for teachers. So even using the technology, we care for the emotional well-being of the learner and the teacher by embedding these kinds of techniques into it. And we also encourage the content developers to bring in as much as possible indigenous knowledge and culturally relevant content. And that's although I was very brief in describing cultural relevance, this is the kind of things that I am referring to. Thank you.
Doc, there's one more question before, if you can scroll up. There's one question before. From James
how do digital learning shift teacher development from compliance to intrinsic motivation and continuous learning?
Yeah.
The technology is a motivating factor, by the way. In one of the e-learning courses, for instance, I said, how can you make teachers and students get motivated through using the technology? How do you engage them? In the traditional system, in the traditional development system, it's a give and take. It's like Paulo Freire's kind of approach in which you pour the content onto a vessel which is considered to be empty. But that's not true. So this technology, particularly, as I said, if you focus on the constructivist learning theory, the theory itself forces you to bring internal motivation, intrinsic motivation, and also lifelong learning. So that's maybe we should have had longer time on this only, so that each course could be described how it is handling all these kinds of things.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We are going to have, I am sure, you're going to see a lot of traffic on your page, as many people are going to engage, and we are very, very grateful for your time. So ladies and gentlemen, that was a great presentation. Now I'd like us to take it further. We have heard the skill set. We have been taken through of what is required. We are now going to go into groups, and then we need to discuss, unpack what you heard, and then think through it in the perspective of mentorship and that skill set which you have got. I'm sharing the links in the chat so that when you are in your group, if you are in group 1, we are going to go into 4 groups. And when you are in a group, you will see the instructions in the Padlet, and we are supposed to discuss about a tool. We've been taken through all these skill sets. Especially the assessment part was very interesting, because when you are doing the mentorship, you just tell us, you identify one tool, whether you have seen it or you have used it, what type of tool was it, and how did it support mentorship, what was the limitation of the tool, and how can it be scaled up over. So we have 10 minutes for this activity. We're going to go into 4 groups. If you're in group 1, in the chat, you can see you'll click link number 1. If you're in group 2, you're going to click number 2. If you're in group 3, how do I know which team I am? We have not put teams already, Derek. So you'll be automatically, you'll find yourself, on your screen it will say join group 1 or join team 2. So once it tells you, click on that, unmute. Then once you are there, thank you very much, Dr. Temecheng. We really appreciate your input and we are grateful. Thank you very much, Doc, and looking forward to more engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you're not going to choose for this session. You are not going to choose. I'm going to allocate you rooms. And then once you're in the room, please discuss and let's have a quick discussion. So I'm creating the rooms now. The 4 rooms. When you go to your room, please, we have only 10 minutes. 25 minutes parts, we should be back here in our room for discussion. So let's like to each group to have a representative and tell us only one tool, the purpose it supports, and an example of a scenario. And I'm going to share a link so that people can also see your contribution. So you're just giving a summary. You're not reading what you have shared, but you're just giving a summary. So if you click the link I've shared, you're going to see everything that people have shared. So can I have a hand up for somebody from group 1, if you are ready, group 1? I'm looking for hands. Anybody from group 1 to share?
I think Jane should be sharing for us because she took notes of our discussion.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Derek. Thank you very much. Jane, over to you. Jane, can you unmute? Jane? Jane, are you able to unmute and speak? Maybe Derek, you can just give us an insight because we can all see the notes she took. Derek, because you are there.
Okay. All right. So first, one of my colleagues from South Sudan mentioned a tool called, I don't know if I call it name right, Zotori, I think something like that.
Zotero.
He said, yes, Zotero. He said it's a tool that they use. And Jane was sharing a tool, but her line was coming in broken, so I really didn't get it clear. But I also share on social media that we use like WhatsApp to share materials, videos, like YouTube links that you know, our teacher aspirants can access these different lessons and how they can support mentorship. We talk about there's a need to provide a kind of more like training. Like we may want to call it digital awareness, so that you know, we provide the pros and cons, because the focus in technology is that we are not teaching technology, but we are only using technology as a medium to teach our lessons. So there's a need for awareness. And one example or scenario would be that normally I teach appropriate technology in the classroom at the teacher college. And what normally I do is bring practical activities in the class where I ask, you know, students to, or I teacher aspirants to plan lessons and share in the class, and then peer comments and make some, you know, informed decision. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Can we have somebody from group 2? Somebody from group 2 to share? I don't have to mention your name. Yes, please. Proceed.
Yes. From group 2, 2 of our colleagues has shared as the tool that is WhatsApp. One from Mozambique, the other is from Namibia. In both cases, they said that they use WhatsApp group to establish a group of newly employed teachers and to facilitate sharing experiences, documents, videos, and so on. And also to connect the new teachers with the experienced as well as the supervisors or principals, and facilitate anyway for overall induction process. And the potential is that's easy to use and has a capacity to share large documents and videos. And the limitation is, you know, the teachers should use data, the connectivity, and the related costs, as well as you know, not all teachers have these smartphones with the capacity of using this social media. So these are the limitations, but they see more potential than the limitation. That's what we shared.
Thank you very much, Derejetai, for that. Thank you very much. Somebody from group 3, team 3, a representative of team 3. Team 3, somebody from Team 3, please unmute and speak. Anyone from Team 3? A volunteer from Team 3? Team 3, we had Ben Simaku, Deng, Elmetsila, Hileni, Lopez, Natale, Robstam, CB, Sabaze. Ben Simasiku, can you share something? Team 3? Okay, Team 4, anybody from Team 4? A representative of Team 4?
Can I nominate Dr. Negus to present the effort in Team 4?
Thank you very much. Dr. Negus, you are nominated. Please unmute.
All right, thank you so much for nominating me. Actually, I was thinking that she will present it. Yeah, with regard to our group, we discussed about what new digital technologies can be used to improve or for the sort of mentorship program. And we discussed that using these social media outlets like WhatsApp, Telegram, and the like are much more friendly to use for newly recruited teachers, and at the same time to apply them for a mentorship program. The first strength of using these social media outlets is that everybody, almost I would say everybody, is acquainted with how to use, for example, social media, rather than how to use Quizizi or Padlet or other sophisticated technologies. So one of the benefits of using these social media outlets for the mentorship program is that they are very friendly and everybody is acquainted with some sort of new skills. The very limitation of these media outlets, social media outlets, particularly for the mentorship program, is that compared to other, for example, if we take Padlets, it has given a chance to put their views, to comment, and the like. You can have many gadgets within that. But when it comes to WhatsApp or to the Telegram, the gadgets that it gives you is very limited. Either you have to upload a document or a voice, but it doesn't give you such a freedom to put probably reflections, comments, and to put things how you improved your performance over time and the like. So with the exception of this limitation, it has the advantage of I mean, they it's a it is somewhat, they are somewhat very friendly to use, because everybody, I would say, starting from whether someone is a bachelor, is a pre-service program, or in the pre-service training, or in the service study training, or newly recruited teacher, they have the exposure to use, I would say, telegrams and WhatsApps. Thank you. Over to you, Maina.
Thank you very much, Dr. Neguse, for that insightful contextual relevant solution, which is meant for based on our context and the realities on the ground. Thank you very much, everybody, for your input. So I just like one quick sharing, one digital tool you like to explore more. Having heard from the presentations from your colleagues, share with us one digital tool you like to explore more. One digital tool. Use the same slido.com. Just go to slido.com, enter that, and it's a Waddle. We like to see what people are sharing. So just use slido.com and then share with us one tool you like to explore more based on the exposure we have had today. Go to slido.com. It will ask you for a code. You just enter the code 6176208 and then respond to that. One digital tool you like to explore more. I can see one participant. Somebody's writing the code. Sorry about that. Just write the tool that you like to do. So when you go to slido.com, enter that code, then now it will ask you now to enter the tool. One digital tool you like to explore more. Slido.com. If you're not able, you can just type it in chat. But I like to have it here so that I can have consolidated, shared from each person. Slido.com. Thank you very much. Just write the name, not a sentence. If it was Zotero, just write Zotero. Just write the name of the tool, just the name. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we have more? A tool you like to explore more? Just write the name of the tool. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you very much. Still 4 people. We are 34. So 30. I'm missing 30 of you. And I like everybody to be on board so that we sail together. Slido.com. Just type slido.com on your URL. It will ask you for a code. The code is 6176208. Don't put the hash, just the number. And then now you can see the responses. Can we have more? There are 5 people are typing. We are missing 29 of you. Let's put our voice and share. 6 of us have shared. We are missing 28 of you. Let's have our collective voice of what we need to try out, to explore regarding mentorship. You can see what people have shared. And the one person is still typing. But we have the 28 of us. Thank you very much. That's great. 2 people are typing. We have 7. So 28 are missing in action. Thank you very much. Let me check if they are lost in the chat. Yeah, in the chat we also have Padlet, Google Classroom, Moodle. Okay, so in the Padlet we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 responses in the Padlet, and here we have 9, so we are at 20 now. So we are still missing 15 people. Let's share. 1 more minute so that we can move on. One participant is, thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, now we want to discuss our progress, and we are here to look at all those people who have done the final assignment. So I'm going to create 4 rooms. You choose which room to join based on the final assignment which you're doing. So for authorship, you will enter room 1. For a scoring of system, you'll go to room 2. For 2-part research, you'll go to room 3. For action plan, you'll go to room 4. And each room, you will find your colleagues who are doing the same. We have only 10 minutes for this, 15 minutes for this. And we'll also have, after the meeting, another 30 minutes, which we can continue. But for now, we have Marianne in room 4. I will be in room 1. Then there will be somebody in room 2, Dr. Hungi. And then we'll be having Camelia in room 3. Just to ask questions regarding your final assignment. Remember, it's very, very critical. So I'll create the rooms and request you to join the rooms, because now you are joining the rooms. You choose which room to join based on your final assignment. And when you choose the room to join, we know that room 1 will be about authorship. So if you are doing anything about authorship, go to the room called authorship. Then room 2 is scoring of systems, where you'll find Dr. Hungi there. And then in room 3, two-part research, you'll find Camelia there. This is two-part research. And then in room 4, about action plan, you'll find Marianne there. And the thing is to try and assist you, work with you, respond to any issues that you may have, so that we are able to help you. So I'm going to open the rooms, and after 15 minutes, I'm going to close the rooms. So please choose the room to join based on the assignment you're doing. And if you're not doing any assignment, choose your room just to listen in to what people are doing. So I'm opening the rooms now, and just choose the room which you want to join. And Dr. Quintin, don't worry, we just want to make a closure, and then we are going to have 30 minutes open. I can't hear you. You are muted, Dr. Quintin.
Maina, so we don't know exactly what Marianne or you gave to those people as the framework, which part of the framework, which questions. Do you have that?
Yes, we have that. We have that in the link.
Can you show it to me on the screen? Or can you send it to me by email? Because I don't have exactly what you gave them.
Sure. For activity 2.
Yes.
Okay, Marianne. Marianne is sending. So ladies and gentlemen, what we like you to do first is to fill in the survey. We are still going to be on in the next 30 minutes, so don't worry about that. But please, let us fill this form so that we can release those who are not doing the assignment, and we can continue helping those who are doing the assignment. So click the link in the chat, please, and let's take this survey.
Marianne, this is not working for me here with the group 2, because I don't have in front of me the form, and none of the participants in group 2 had the very specific form, right? So what I suggested to them is that send me the form. If they have any very specific question, they can ask me, or I can send them more detailed guidance by email to the 4 people that were in that group. That might be the easiest way of going.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Dr.
Quintin. I'm going to email you.
So please fill this form so that we close the session, but we are going to have 30 minutes where Mariam, myself, Dr. Quintin will be there to continue helping you in the respective rooms. So there is a link in the chat. Click on it, fill the form, and we are coming to the end of the session, but we are still going to be live in the next 30 minutes so that we can respond to your specific questions. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. It's now 5:02, and thank you. I'm going to play the closing song, and then we are going to still stay here for the next 30 minutes, and the rooms will still be open so that we can continue engaging with you. Otherwise, thank you very much. Marianne, you want to say something? Marianne?
No, Mina, that's fine. We'll be here for another few minutes for anyone who has questions about their assignment.